And thanks for staying with us. This is Politics Tonight, where we dig and go beyond the headlines. And tonight I've been speaking with a journalist, writer, and policy analyst, Akinsiju, for discussion on BBC reports that President Tinubu's Chicago certificate is not forged. Mr. Akinsiju, now let's delve into other angles to this matter. I mean, many people said Atiku has no moral grounds to question President Tinubu's certificate. How will you react to that?
I actually, don't pursue peripheral issues. When an issue is of little substance, I do not give much attention to it. But again, in truth, we can also apply the aphorism of equity. The aphorism of old, he who comes to equity must come with clean hands. So if you are laying claim or you are alleging that somebody is of deficits in terms of public conduct, then you have pointed one finger. How many fingers are pointed back at you? I think that's a question Alhaji Atiku Abubakar would have to answer. Now, because of what the voyage of discovery, and I want to say discovery to disrepute, as it were, that he had embarked upon, people are now gone. And that's not me. I've heard people, I've seen reports claiming that Alhaji Atiku Abubakar had questions, asked questions to answer, especially regarding his name. When you change your name at whatever period in your life, there must be an explanation for it, and that is why there's always the legal requirement to advertise, or publish the change of name and why you are changing that name. So people are asking, you were Sadiq at a point in time in your life. You were your school leaving certificate reads Sadiq, and now we know you as Abubakar Atiku. And now, can you give us an explanation? Because nobody would wake up at any point in time in his life from age 4 or age 5 or 6 and say he decided to change his name. For what purpose? When you are an adolescent or you are below the maturity age of 18, your parents has control over you. So if if they change your name, there must be a reason. So they will give you that reason, Then if you decided to change your name post a particular period, especially when your name reads a particular form of other name on your certificate, it is appropriate to come out. This one is established, and thankfully, his spokespersons had also come out in the public space to accept the fact that he indeed changed his name at a particular point in time in his life. And the question that begs for is, please, can you tell us why? Did it happen that the person that gave him that name, because you don't give yourself name, when you at birth, somebody would give you a name. Routinely your parents. So if they decide to change your name, what's the reason? Can you tell us what happened? So and you have not come out to publicly, tell us or even inform the public why you changed your name, and it's the foundation, that certificate, your school leaving certificate, is the foundation of whatever educational attainment you have attained. So it means the foundation is questionable. And Nigerians have decided to question that foundation. And I think it's appropriate, since we are talking about being open, about being transparent, and of course about bringing Nigerians, into the whole affair of leadership, he should also, first, he should also let us know what transpired in all these processes, as it were. The president had been able, through the court now, to also give us, we have seen that, finally, those who are in doubt that he attended a university in the USA.
Mr. Akinsiju, but two institutions, two very reputable institutions have given their verdict on this issue, talking about CSU and BBC. Why do you think this case is still getting so much traction?
It will get traction because it is political. It is not about establishing the true or the truth, the truth of the matter. That's not the intention. It's that politicians on the other side who contested and their supporters in 2023, in the 2023 presidential election, feel that there is a need to continue to pollute the environment, the political environment, as it were, and assault the sensibility of Nigerians, as it were. But unfortunately, like I said, most Nigerians, the larger percentage of Nigerians, are responsible, straight-thinking, rational, logical thinking-minded persons. So whatever they are doing would not overshadow the fact of the matter. And that is why I'm reiterating the fact that the president, as it were, from what discovery they have made for us, they have been able to establish the fact that the president actually attended a university. And just not the university, the Chicago State University, as he had always claimed. That's the major anchor. So whatever they are doing is political. It's the way they say Nigerian politicians do their thing. But unfortunately, we are saying there's a need for a redemption of purpose, a redemption of conduct, that you don't need to play dirty politics. You can play politics in a way that you make issues the pivots of whatever engagement you are conducting or you are engaged in the public space. And it is better for Nigeria as a nation, it is better for the Nigerian people, and it is better for building institutions that we all aspire for in this country.
All right, Mr. Akinsiju, but do you agree with, aside from the political undertone, do you agree with those who have said this is so because President Tinubu is the president of this country, and whatever he does or does not do will be talked about? Is this weighty enough?
No, it's not weighty. It's not appropriate. The president is a human being. He's not a robot. He has emotion. He has blood flowing in his veins. He has his weak times. He's also given to being distracted. He's given to being fallen. When dirty issues or inappropriate issues are thrown at his person. He's a human being. And we should understand the fact that someone that occupies the seat of that president is not a machine, and that the more we allow him to concentrate, see if this matter is actually an issue that can be controverted, if it's actually an issue that questions the moral standing of the president, I will push it. I will take it on, and I know that many Nigerians will take it on. But it is as if some people, minority number of people, have decided to haul all manners of emotional assault, all manners of immoral assaults and missiles at the president. That is going to distract him. And we are at a juncture in this country when we need a president to be strong in his perspective, to be strong in his perception, to be strong in his concentration, so that the policies that will evolve from the president's office will be policies that will be impactful. You need a president that is emotional, that is concentrated, so to speak, to be able to achieve that kind of lofty heights.
Right. So some have described Atiku's moves as a plan to get the presidency through the back door. For you, is this what it is? And looking at the international dimension to this issue, what impact do you think, some have said this is a big distraction to the president.
Well, I don't think it would impact the perception of the Nigerian the Nigerian brand globally. You know, every country has its own species of irritant politician, as it were. And I'm very sure anybody that had made it to the leadership class, you know, in the political structure, hierarchy, as it were, has a balanced perspective, has a way of looking at things in an equitable manner. So I know that those who take decision anywhere in the world would properly contextualize what is happening, you know, and understand the context of the whole, let me use the word, ulabalu, as it were. Then for Alhaji Atiku, I think it's bad approach, it's bad strategy to think that this kind of allegation or this kind of approach would give him the presidency, either through the back door or through the front door, as the case may be. The truth of the matter is, if you are pursuing an objective through elements of falsehood, there's always karma. I am a spiritual minded person. And then, of course, it is our people, and I think it's a maxim around the world, that no matter how fast and how long falsehood are traveled, even over 100 years, one day the truth will catch up with it. And it is the irony, you know, the irony in this matter, the paradox in this matter, is that it is Alhaji Atiku himself that went to open the cage where the truth about the president's educational background had been kept, you know, and then showed it to all Nigerians, those who have been doubting and all that all this year because of all manners of assault on the president over the years. So it's Alhaji Atiku himself that brought the truth out, you know. So you cannot now traduce the truth you brought out. And the efforts they are trying to engage in is to find a way of manipulating the public, not to understand the context of the discovery they themselves embarked upon.
Thank you very much. I've been speaking with Mr. Niyi Akinsiju, journalist, writer, and policy analyst tonight to discuss BBC's report indicating that President Tinubu's Chicago certificate is not forged. Thank you so much, sir, for coming on Politics Tonight. Thank you for sharing your perspective with us. Thank you so much.
It's a privilege. Thanks so much.
And thanks a lot for watching. That marks the end of today's episode of Politics Tonight. But the conversation continues from here. Get in touch with us on X, at TVC News NG, and at Olajumoke using the hashtag Politics Tonight. We're also on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News.